So sorry. Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, no problem. Hey,
Thanks so much for waiting and making the time.
no problem.
All right, so I see you've got your camera in the back there, or is that your Blackmagic?
That is my Blackmagic.
All right.
This is my EOS M.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, so I can hold it up and show you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to compare sometimes if you want to compare
Absolutely.
back and forth.
Cool.
So hey, I'm great to chat with you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much. Why don't you just do a quick intro? Tell me, like, obviously your name and what do you do?
Sure. So I'm Yusuf Gad. I'm a screenwriter based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I am an avid EOS M user for both photography and video. I probably got my EOS M probably early 2019. It hasn't been that long, probably February, March of this year. And it has been a wonderful learning experience. There's a lot about this little camera to love, and there's a lot about this little camera not to love. I'm looking forward to chatting with you about it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, since you said that, one of my questions is what made you decide to try the EOS M instead of just upgrading to the latest and greatest camera? What made you want to go backwards?
So, I come from a film background in the traditional sense, like literally shooting on film. So, I didn't want to get one of the newer cameras for two reasons. The main reason is I did not want an expensive paperweight. The thing about filmmaking and my use of the EOS M and my use of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K over my shoulder is mostly to prep for narrative filmmaking. So, as you know, there's a lot about filmmaking that is so much more than just the equipment you use. Filmmaking is a back-breaking process. There's a lot that goes on. You have to write the script, you have to cast for it, you have to budget for it, you have to find locations for it. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't remembering filmmaking sort of nostalgically.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had not filmed for many years. I opened up my own ad agency in Toronto. And for a good chunk of my adult life, I actually wasn't doing filmmaking. I was sort of earning a living doing marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then around 2012, 2013, I said, you know what, I really want to get back into filmmaking. So I got back into screenwriting. And the bug into direct sort of infected me last year.
Okay.
And so I wanted to look for a camera that I can jump into narrative filmmaking with. Mm-hmm. And probably like yourself, I saw Zeke's videos on the EOS M, and I read some reviews about it, and I said, this sounds like a reasonable investment to make. If I don't like it, it's a couple $100 and it's not going to cost me anything.
Right.
And if I fall in love with it, it can serve as a gateway to more professional equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the reason why I got the EOS M was I mentioned how I used to film on film,
mm-hmm.
which means that I didn't have anything automatic. Like everything that I used to shoot on film cameras with, it was all manual.
Yeah.
So there was no automatic focus, there was no automatic white balance, there was no automatic anything. You had to do everything and ensure that the settings for the camera were the settings that you wanted to get the effect that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my fear was that if I got like a newer camera like a Panasonic or a Sony that does a lot of things automatically, I would get sort of hooked on doing things automatically,
Mm-hmm.
and not learn the basics or relearn the basics of filmmaking. We talked about this on the phone a while ago, but when you are shooting like a professional, if you're on a professional film set, none of the cameras are automatic. There's no automatic functions on them, with the exception of maybe time code being fed. Everything else you have to manually do.
Right.
So learning one of the reasons why I love the EOS M is that it's old enough that all the automatic features are pretty useless.
Yeah.
The autofocus is pretty terrible.
Yeah, even with the new firmware, or like the newer firmware, yeah.
And so it's a great way to sort of force you to learn how to expose properly, how to focus properly, how to pull focus when you have objects that are moving. All the lenses that we'll probably be talking about today, they're all manual lenses. I don't have any automatic lenses.
Yeah, I haven't bought any automatic lenses in a while. I've just enjoyed getting manual ones.
Yeah, and it's a great way to actually learn the cause and effect of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Right? So, why the EOS M? Why an older camera? Because it forced me to learn filmmaking. It forced me to learn camera work from scratch. It forced me to have to go through the menu system and go, oh, what does this do? What does this do? We'll talk about the Magic Lantern system, I'm sure, later on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a set it and then forget it system,
No.
That's the one thing about video cameras that's different from film cameras, is that the minute you get into the concept of white balance, the minute you get into the concept of ISO, there's no set it and forget it. You've got to make sure that your ISO settings are set in a certain way and your white balance is set in a certain way. So it's a wonderful learning experience, and for the price, you actually can't beat it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's me and my reasons for picking up my little guy, my EOS M, and why I think it's a wonderful first camera for almost anybody, to be honest with you.
Okay. Oh yeah, I actually want to ask, what tripod do you have? What's that mini tripod you've got?
This mini tripod is from a gimbal. So the time after I got the EOS M and before I got my Blackmagic, that I thought that I was going to shoot movies on mobile phones on my iPhone. And I got a stabilizer for it. I got one of those gimbal stabilizer thingies.
Yeah.
This little tripod is actually the base of that gimbal.
Okay.
We can talk about why I think shooting on iPhones are wonderful and why I think they're problematic. But I have literally tried everything when it comes to filmmaking over the last 8 months.
8 months. Oh, cool. So that's awesome that you experimenting with as many things as you can. That's a good idea.
You gotta find out what works for you. And mobile phone filmmaking didn't work for me. I love it. I think it's the future. I think it's all a matter of time before they fit all of this into this. I hear that the new iPhone 11 is spectacular with its lens system. But to me, and Steven Soderbergh shot
Unsane.
If anyone's watching this is interested in mobile filmmaking, there's a movie on Netflix right now shot by Steven Soderbergh, the same guy did Ocean's 11, called High Flying Bird. It's filmed entirely on iPhone. I think it was an iPhone 10, so it's not like a recent one. It's an older model. And the entire thing was shot on iPhone. And so, filmmakers are using mobile devices. Like, the game has changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've literally tried everything in the last year.
Nice. When you said Soderbergh, I thought you were going to say Unsane, because I think that's another one he did. And it's on Amazon, I think?
The first one that he did on a mobile, I think it was an iPhone. I think it was the iPhone 6.
Probably, yeah.
And he shot Unsane on it, and he says, if you were to go back and remake that movie, there's things that he would do differently. Because because there are things that you learn about mobile filmmaking, like what the limitations are, like what the system can get away with, what it can't get away with, and it's always improving. But if you go back and watch Unsane, you'll sort of see going, oh, that's kind of wonky.
Yeah.
Or man, that doesn't look like this. This is Soderbergh. Like this is supposed to be a professional production. But when I watched there was a production still of High Flying Bird. It's sort of like a shot of them Soderbergh actually doing a scene with the actors, and it's just Soderbergh with his camera on a little tripod shooting, and that's it, and a sound guy. And I have to admit, there's something really liberating about the idea of shooting an entire movie on a mobile device.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're getting really good. If you install an app called Filmic Pro,
right,
on it, you can shoot 4K on it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I will. I was gonna ask you if you downloaded Filmic Pro, and
I love it. It's a wonderful app.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that in a minute. The next question I wanted to ask, I know I just pulled up the list of ones I had sent you. So you kind of went into this a little bit, but let's start with reasons for anyone who is thinking about getting the EOS M. What are reasons to get it from your experiences, and reasons maybe not to get it, to try something else?
So it always starts off with what is your goal? Like, what do you want to do? And that will determine whether or not this little camera is the right fit for you, or if it will do more damage than good. For me, it's always about, like, if you want to do narrative filmmaking, if you want to shoot YouTube videos, whatever your passion is, I want to make sure that you get the right thing that doesn't make you lose your passion. Because the worst thing in the world to do is invest time and money into any system, find it frustrating, find it difficult, and then you sort of get turned off by the entire experience. So for my purposes, it was for narrative filmmaking. And so I got the EOS M for two main reasons. One, it was cheap. I got it for like $200 Canadian.
Nice.
And the picture quality is amazing off it. Like I said, I saw Zeke's videos, I saw your videos, and I said, "Oh, this is sort of ideal. It's small, it's not expensive. I can sort of experiment and learn with it, and if I want to grow from it, I can.
Yeah.
If I get tired of it, I'm like, oh, the filmmaking isn't for me. It's too complicated, it's too expensive. I won't feel bad about spending $200.
Right.
I spend more money a month on coffee than I do. It's not that big of a deal.
That's a good comparison. I like that.
So the reasons to get this would be definitely number one, cost. Number two, it produces pretty spectacular picture quality. Like for $200 to get raw footage.
Yeah.
4K raw footage is pretty unbelievable. And if you're someone that is really interested in the art of filmmaking, in terms of like things like color grading, in terms of things like sort of learning the post-production process as well, it's a great camera to experiment on. Because when I got this baby, I was really worried that, oh man, I've never used something this sophisticated in a long time. Would it be difficult for me to learn? Would I have to struggle to figure it out? I was amazed at how quickly I was able to pick it up, because a lot of the lessons that I learned, both in the production and the post-production side of using the EOS M, were transferable to this.
Nice.
So it wasn't that difficult. Like, I had already learned a bit about color grading. I had already learned a bit about, again, shooting things in manual mode. Having to worry about color balance, having to worry about focus, manual focus. So when I moved up to this, it was a no-brainer for me. Like, it was very smooth. So if you're interested in the art of filmmaking, picking up a dumb camera, as I call it, is a great way to do it, because it forces you to learn everything. also learned is that it is so inconspicuous that you can take it almost anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I shot a bunch of videos of my girlfriend and I sort of going to markets and fairs and stuff like that, and I was shooting the video with with this, and 9 times out of 10, no one would pay us any mind. When I went to those exact same fairs and markets, and I brought this,
that whole setup,
I had security called on me.
What?
Right?
Oh wow!
I had security called on me. Why? Because they thought it was a professional shoot.
Oh.
So one of the benefits of this is that it looks like a toy.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like something a tourist would have. So if you're into guerrilla filmmaking, this is a really neat camera to use because you can bring it anywhere, and everyone's gonna go, "Oh, they're just a tourist or just someone taking photos."
Yeah.
Or something. But it can produce some pretty decent results. The other reason why you use this, I think that one of the main reasons why you want to use the EOS M is you get to use vintage lenses.
Mm-hmm.
There's something magical about the form factor of this, the sensor size, that makes its blending with vintage lenses really great.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get really cheap but really great lenses that work very, very well with this little camera that gives you really wonderful results.
Yeah.
And to get all that, plus be able to shoot raw footage.
Mm-hmm.
And for people who are watching this who may not know what raw footage is basically all the data that the sensor is picking up, it's recording. Most of the time, cameras compress the image for it. So there's a level of compression that happens. With the EOS M, when you install Magic Lantern on it, you're able to get relatively uncompressed video footage, which gives you a much richer image, which allows you to, in post, to manipulate colors, to even manipulate white balance in a non-destructive format, so that you're getting the most out of your picture. And the combination of that, this sensor, and vintage lenses can allow you to get some really wonderful looking footage for next to nothing.
Nice. Awesome. That was great. That was a really good explanation. Since we're kind of on, what's your post-production workflow? And let's even say for your EOS M, and that's even before you start editing things together. What's the post-production workflow to get ready to start editing your footage
So
together?
before I do that, I should answer the second half of your first question.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, why wouldn't you get this?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned earlier that I like narrative filmmaking. So I'm working my way up to direct short films and then hopefully features down the road. And I'm a bit of a film snob when it comes to that, which is I think that narrative filmmaking is the benchmark for
Totally.
How I measure what a camera can do, what it can do.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got this, I got it to learn the process of filmmaking again.
Mm-hmm.
To remind myself, is this something that I want to do again? Do I want to invest in equipment? Do I want to spend time doing color grading and doing editing? I would not shoot a feature or a short film with this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wonderful camera, but the Magic Lantern operating system that allows you to get raw images from this, raw video from this, is a third-party software that you install onto this camera. This camera is not designed to shoot raw footage. This camera is not designed to give you the picture quality that the Magic Lantern system allows you to get from it.
Right.
So what happens? It sucks on battery life, and it overheats. And as a result, it's not that reliable. Like, if you're shooting long takes, and remember, so imagine you're shooting a short film and you have actors and you're paying for a set, and you have a sound person there. You need something that's bulletproof. You can't have it fail all the time because your actor's going to get upset. You're going to miss your shot.
Yeah.
I just found that this camera, as wonderful as it is, I wouldn't trust to go into battle with it.
Mm-hmm.
I would use it as a B camera. I'd get B-roll footage with it, and it would do spectacular images for B-roll footage. But I wouldn't use it to shoot a short film.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trust it, especially if you're spending money on that short film, right? Like if you have any kind of budget, $2,000-3,000 in a short film, don't waste it on this.
Okay.
Because if this fails, you've wasted $2 or $3 plus the time of your crew, plus the time of your actors.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you might as well get a Panasonic or a Sony, and their picture quality is spectacular and excellent.
Yeah.
And so what if you don't get raw footage at that stage of the game? Big deal. It'll look just as good, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
The other reason why I wouldn't get it is it's getting up there. This is now, what, 7 years old?
Yeah. Yeah. 7 years old. As of June, I think, something like that.
It's now 7 years old now. So, it's reached the limits of its life. And there are better cameras that are coming out there. To bundle that, it's affordable, but it's still not cheap, right? So you have to buy the body, right? Then you have to buy the adapters, which are these things.
And that's all you're buying for it, really, when you're putting other lenses on it.
And then you're buying lenses for it. So it's not like you're for $200 you're getting something that you can go out and shoot something with. You still need to get everything, plus a power solution. Because the native battery that comes with this thing will just burn out within 20 minutes. So you're looking at money for that. The monitor is terrible on this thing.
Yeah.
So you're trying to check focus or anything like that, it's really difficult. So you need an external monitor for it. So either way, you're spending close to $1,000 when it's all said and done. The reason why that's either a plus or a minus, depending on how you look at it, is that it's a minus if you just want to have a very small budget and you're like, I only want to spend $200 to go shoot something, and you have to tell me I have to buy all these other things. The good thing is that when you're ready to move up to a newer camera or a better camera, you get to use all the same stuff.
Yeah.
So this monitor I was using on this camera.
Okay.
For the longest time. The light the reflection that you see behind me, which is in front of me right now, was mounted on this hot shoe for the longest time.
Okay.
I used to use it as a main light source when I was shooting things, for example. As you know, the EOS M has a microphone input here. I have a boom mic that I would plug in here that I now use with my Blackmagic.
Okay.
The only thing I really had to buy, again, were adapters, because this is an EOS M
very
mount.
specific.
This is a micro 4/3 mount.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. The adapters really aren't that expensive anyway. I used all the same lenses that I used with this, I used with this.
Okay.
So they're transportable. Like you can still use the bits and pieces that you have to bring on to make it sort of fully functional. You still use it for other cameras down the line. But again, if you think that you're just buying a $200 camera, not quite. And if you think you're buying a $200 camera to shoot a short film, probably not. Like I said, you still need extra stuff so that it can be functional on a film set.
Yeah. And I think, even that kind of gets you in the mental state of like even newer advanced cameras, or if you want to start getting a cinema camera like that one, or even just more the cinema video cameras, you're just looking at the body, but you have to buy the monitor and things to go with it. So it kind of preps you.
That's actually so great about the EOS M, is that the purchasing workflow.
Yeah, exactly.
People I don't think fully get just how much time and effort it is spent procuring the right equipment on a even semi-pro or pro shoot.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have to get the right lenses, you have to get the right adapters, the right battery power solutions, the right cages, the right tripods.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to do a lot of that with this, I personally think is a good thing. Like I said, I think it puts you in a scenario where you're forced to learn about what each component does. But when we live in a world where you can shoot really great footage with one of these,
Yeah.
I can understand why some people go, I don't want to deal with it, right? Because I can just go out and shoot 4K with this.
Right.
But that's one of the, I found that to be a feature, not a bug of the EOS M. I like that workflow. I like the fact that I had to relearn so many things that I had forgotten over the last 10 years. And, it's been a wonderful camera. And I carry this thing with me all the time.
Yeah, I've got my
What do you do with this?
right here, and I'm gonna probably afterwards I'm gonna go take it out again. But yeah, it's so easy to carry.
100% it's easy to carry.
Before you start cutting your footage together, what's your workflow with your EOS M and RAW?
So I think my workflow is almost identical to everyone else's workflow, which is there's a wonderful third-party app called the MLV app that allows you to take your raw footage from the EOS M, color grade it. You can apply LUTs to it. You can change the white balance. You can change exposure, bring up darks, do all the color kind of fairly sophisticated color grading, and then export it into a file format that either Final Draft or Adobe Premiere can recognize. One of the things that, at least as of right now that I know, you cannot import MLV files directly into an editing system.
Yeah, no.
As this. So when you're shooting on this camera, it records files in a file format called MLV, right? Magic Lantern Video, I'm assuming that's what the acronym is. And the MLV app the MLV format is a file format that Magic Lantern is proprietary to Magic Lantern. That allows it to do all the things that we talked about in terms of recording high res and yada yada. That file format needs to be transcoded into a file format that your regular editing systems can recognize. So there's an app called the MLV app that allows you to not only color grade your footage, but also transcode it to either a ProRes file or an MPEG or an AVI or a MOV or whatever you're using to edit with. I was editing in ProRes for the longest time. So what I would do is I'd take the files, go into the MLV app, color grade it to as best as sort of in the ballpark of where I wanted it to be. Make sure my settings were correct, so I was exporting in Apple ProRes, I think 444, which is the highest quality. Hit render, and then go out and do all my shopping, go to work, and maybe by the time I came back, the files would be complete. It takes a long time to render. I have a 6-year-old computer right now. And the other thing is that the file sizes are big.
Yeah.
They're not as big as my Blackmagic, but they're still pretty big. So when you are using this kind of raw footage systems, you have to be mindful that you're going through storage a lot.
Yeah.
The really simple YouTube videos that I have that are up, I think the smallest one was 5 gigabytes.
Wow.
It pumps out large files, but that's where the quality is, right? That's where you get the that picture quality that everyone's talking about that comes from the EOS M and Magic Lantern. So then once I'm done exporting everything from the MLV app, I open up my Adobe suite and I import it so I can create proxy files. And proxy files are the most amazing things that Adobe has come up with, in my opinion, because it allows you to edit very large video files on an old computer. So a lot of times you hear people talking about, well, I need to get a new computer so I can edit these very large files because it's not fast enough or whatever.
Right.
That's not entirely true. What proxy files are is a way to create duplicate files of large files, create sort of low resolution versions. So what you do is you edit the low resolution versions of those files. You cut in and out where you want to, you dissolve where you want to, you color grade where you want to, And then when you export the file, it then pulls the data from the large files, the original files of it. So that you get the benefits of being able to use high-resolution video files, but edit low-resolution proxy files, so it doesn't task your system as much.
Right.
So you're able to do a really great job editing very large files, even on older computers.
Okay.
And so that proxy workflow is my sort of latest thing that I do now, which again is one of the benefits of starting off small and learning all the things you have to learn, because filmmaking is more than just capturing the image.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have to edit that image. You have to do something with that image. And where a lot of things go wrong is in post-production, not production.
I hear that all the time. Just the technical side of it, and always whenever, even for maybe Kickstarter projects or people trying to fund them, they're always trying to do a second round for post-production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets that the most expensive part of, one of the most expensive parts of film production is post-production. And if you're doing a small budget one, it's almost 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, a good chunk of your budget's going into post-production if you're going to get it professionally color graded and all that. So, using proxy files is a way of allowing you to edit on the computer you're using right now. Like I said, my iMac right now is probably 7 years old. It does the job for screenwriting because it's not like I need really intensive graphic cards for the Courier font. But when you want to do video editing, it starts to chug, man. Like, you can hear it, and going because it's overheating. Proxy files allowed me to do pretty elaborate edits with very large files using low-resolution versions of them, while still being able to export a high-resolution video at the end of the day.
Nice.